It's time now to go inside innovation, brought to you by Allegion, pioneering safety. Well, Carmel-based Aria Diagnostics has developed COVID-19 testing kits after answering a call for private sector companies to help in the fight against the disease. For weeks, the company has been really testing first responders and Carmel City employees. Now those tests are continuing to go to New York City after New York Governor Andrew Cuomo asked for help. Aria has hired dozens of people who've been laid off or furloughed as a result of the pandemic to keep up with demand. Co-founder Zach Kahn joins me now to explain how the test came about really in just a few days. And Zach, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks for having me.
So Aria Diagnostics, you launched the company around 2015, so about a 5-year-old company that really started in the toxicology business. Give us a brief business model, if you will.
Sure. So I have had surgery centers around the country, mostly orthopedic and spine. We have pain doctors inside of there as well. And so my pain physicians had requested that we have some type of a lab facility to test their patients to ensure that they're taking their drugs correctly. So we opened this toxicology urine drug testing lab in 2015 to serve those needs, but then pivoted a few months ago.
Yeah, pivoted to the COVID-19 testing and doing a lot of testing in Carmel and the Carmel area, but also jumped out onto the national scene after you saw a call from New York's governor for the private sector to get involved. How did that collaboration, that partnership with New York City come about?
Sure. So we saw the need to vertically integrate because we could not get testing supplies, which is a common theme across the country in this market. About 3 days prior to listening to Governor Cuomo reach out and ask for the private sector's assistance with his state and New York City specifically, we had already begun that vertical integration of getting our own kits together. And when I saw it, our hearts broke here at Aria. And I spoke with my partner that morning, and he concurred. He said, you know, we feel a call to do this. And so we reached out to Mayor Brainerd. Mayor Brainerd said, you know, I know Mayor de Blasio, I'm happy to put you guys in touch. And so we began speaking about that. We spoke about kits in generality. And then as we got to know the situation a little bit better, we sent an initial 25,000 kits. And then they said, hey, you know, these kits are good, but we are hospitals. We have multiple different labs analyzing, and some of them can use these. Some of them need different types of kits. And so we had to pivot and start manufacturing a little bit different types of kits to finish our contribution to them, our donation to them, which then turned into, can you also supply us kits on a retail side by purchasing them?
Yep.
And so we continue to do that.
Zach, there was some reporting locally and in New York that you weren't getting the required number of kits to New York City. Has that changed?
Yes, that's right. So initially we had only saline kits. And so that's what the demand has called for here in Indiana and the Midwest. And so when they said they would like viral transport media kits, there's 3 types of kits, if I could explain a little bit about the anatomy of a kit. So there's saline, and then there's viral transport media and AMIs. All 3 are different types of transport media that fit in a vial that once the specimen is collected, that specimen sits in that vial inside of this media. And the goal of that is just to preserve the media until it gets to the machine that it is analyzed on. So as each lab got their validation done to get their emergency use authorization, they did it in a specific media. So it's not to say one is better than the other. It just depends on, at the time, what they thought was right to get validated upon. So some of the hospitals there and labs are using VTM, viral transport media. Some are using saline. Yep. We weren't in the habit of having a lot of viral transport media. It got very, very expensive in the marketplace. But so we pivoted to manufacturing that for them, and that's gone really well.
All right. Aria Diagnostics, Carmel-based company, also has launched a new self-pay web portal for testing for individuals here. So really into the COVID-19 testing in a big way. Zach Kahn, thanks very much for joining us. We look forward to following your story.
Thank you, Gary.
All right.